Brian Johnson's the do not die guy. Say he's going to dunk a basketball. He's training to dunk a basketball. It's probably hype. Gets a lot of press, PR. Would be remarkable at 48 years old if he could do this at 6 feet. I mean, obviously people can do it and have done it, but they're a lot more athletic than Brian Johnson. He lays out his stats. He's 48 years old, 6 feet, 180 pounds, standing reach 91. Says he needs a reach of 130. He really doesn't need that high of a reach to be able to dunk. He says that's a 39-inch vertical. Again, vertical is where you stand and jump up as high as you can. So he could do a running vertical. The average NBA player is 35.5. He probably only needs about a 32, 33-inch vertical. And then with the running approach, with depending on his 2 feet or 1 foot jumper, he would need obviously he would have a much higher jump from a running approach because it'll increase more velocity after takeoff, all that stuff. He says takeoff velocity is 14.5 feet per second, ground force is 585, time to take off is 0.2 seconds, peak power 14.8. So this is cool and all, and he's making this claim that this is what he needs. The problem is he needs to actually get a device like this. So plug for over. They have some cool devices, force plates, things like that. Not sponsored, but hey, if you want to, reach out. So he needs to give us his actual data like this here. We need to know what his actual vertical is, if it's going to be even in the ballpark. Like, can he even dunk on a 9-foot hoop? Like to see that there, but again, a lot of hype around. Landing is more intimidating, which it shouldn't be. Landing is not the hard part. Creates load equal to 6 to 10 times body weight, 1,080 to 1,800 pounds of ground reaction force. Obviously, if you're trained, the takeoff is more the explosive risk. I have torn my Achilles. It is not fun. It's terrible. 3 to 5 times rupture risk for men my age. So obviously, he's saying his age is 48. Obviously, in people in the comments, I think they've torn him a little bit, and they said, what about your biological age? I thought you were 23. So, you know, he is acknowledging that he's older and he has a higher risk for rupture. Knees absorbing 7 to 9 body weight. Age disadvantage power rate force is down 25 to 40% at age 48. So yes, obviously this is just a gross number. There are athletes out there that could still dunk probably at 48 years old at the same height, but they've been able to do it for quite some time. So my question is, what is your current stats? Like, what's your current vertical? Like, share that. Instead, we have this little banded broad jump, which is probably not the best to train to jump higher. But yeah, so nice little frog hops or whatever. But then we also have his regular workout program. So based off of how he works out on a regular basis, he kind of works out like an old 80-year-old man. No disrespect, but it doesn't, not very intense. Let me just increase the speed on this. He does like some corrective exercise stuff 1 to 2 times a week. Corrective exercise stuff is good, but you should probably do it at the end of your workout. And I also find that most of the stuff really is not that great. You just need to fix your environment that you work, you play, or whatever you're in, and that overall will give you a better posture over time. And you just need to strengthen muscles to pull that back. There's much better exercises than what he's doing for his corrective. This is good with a Swiss ball against a wall. Do you want to dominate the game of basketball, run fast, jump higher, be more physical, learn to eat better, get leaner, recover faster, and lift smarter? This program's for you. Get this book today on Amazon. Basketball Strength and Conditioning. Click the link below. So it has to do, you know, the sides of his head and neck, so all of it. So, okay. And then on to, he does a lot of smaller exercises first. He does triceps again. It's a terrible exercise. Gravity goes straight up and down. On a cable, this is good, but not horizontal. And he does face pulls, 1 set of 15 reps. His form's not that great because his elbows drop. And he should have a cable machine. So if he has a cable machine, he needs to do more real resistance. Bands are great if you don't have real equipment. Same thing with butterfly blows, 1 at 15. Like, it's an 80-year-old man workout. It's very low weight, very low resistance, not even explosive. You know, he's just trying to stay injury free, and there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, injury at older ages happen more frequently, and so avoiding them are effectively. So again, he's doing band pull parts. Again, good exercise. But if he had a cable machine, which had concentric and eccentric force, be far more beneficial. External rotation. So again, still more auxiliary lifts, like side lifts, you would put at the end of the workout. You don't want to try to do more. He obviously admits to take testosterone, so it's a huge benefit from a recovery standpoint and a recruit benefit for strength, even though he doesn't lift heavy at all. There's very, very low. I know he does some sled work, but it's mostly backward sled. But like I said, I mean, I'm joking, but he kind of lifts like an 80-year-old man. These are like Jefferson hamstring stretches. He's on a inverted board, so it's going to get calf stretch here. If he actually did this as a movement, probably be more beneficial, and you do Jefferson like hamstring movement, so you can strengthen the hamstrings with a lengthened position. He's just doing stretching, but you know, I'm not sure why he does some weird things. His program overall is funky because it's not really good. He just does things randomly in between. He kind of tinkers. He doesn't have a solid program. Again, back extensions 1 to 25 reps, just one set. So more higher rep ranges, which isn't great for muscle mass. But again, he's on testosterone, so you know, it doesn't take much to grow muscles when you have more testosterone going. Not terrible exercises, but again, there's much better ones to build muscle or get in better shape. Like I think he's just trying to be mobile and move and try to be healthy. He's not an athlete. He's, you know, a nerd, right? Like he made 800 million with PayPal. But you know, good for him. Like kudos to him. Very impressive. Again, he does a stretch in between. This stuff probably should be just added at the end of the workout and then add movements in there that will do it. So again, from a program design standpoint, I don't think it's the best program. It's just a little, you know, off. It's not like you're training to be an athlete. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Sometimes it's just about being healthy. But if he wants to dunk a basketball, he's got to train more like an athlete. And from this, he does not train like an athlete. He trains like, you know, somebody who just wants to have general wellness and health. It's good. So, right, he works on his mobility, which obviously is a struggle as you age and very important to focus on. But again, it keeps the workout very low intensity. Hip flexor stretch, again, not sure why he just doesn't add stretching to the end of his workout as opposed to during. So the intensity just stays really low because he lifts very lightweight. I would assume he's much stronger than what he lifts. So it's not that strenuous on the body, so he's not going to progress at a rapid rate. And that's okay. As you're older, sometimes, like I said, it's just about staying healthy. Again, more auxiliary lifts. There's more effective ab exercises you can do. You know, it's a lot more hip flexors. Again, very low-key oblique thing. I'm joking, but it's like an 80-year-old man working out. It's very low-key. And then he has reverse push-ups, which this is a row. So I always love it when people just name things that aren't really correct. It's just like a row. It's a back exercise, not a push-up. So he's saying he moves really fast, but again, it's a very low intensity workout. Very low weight, which means low intensity. It's not that strenuous. I'd be really impressed if he was lifting heavy weights and moving fast. He's doing still high rep ranges. If you want to be really explosive, you're going to do heavier weight, you know, lower reps, you know, 3 to 5. This is a great exercise, pull and step ups, but at a certain point you don't need it anymore. So if you have knee pain, all that stuff, this is an awesome exercise, but that's why progression exists. You should move up. But you can see slant board squats, he's only using 20-pound dumbbells, right? I have young athletes that are, you know, 12, not fully developed, using 20 pounds. So this is good exercise from a standpoint, great from a mobility standpoint, but again, 20 pounds, really low energy. Yeah, this is a phenomenal exercise. He's doing some Nordic curl. You can notice he's hinging a lot at the hip, so he should have an elevated at this angle, and so he can actually keep his body more straight, so he can fire more through the glutes. Again, this is more of a mobility exercise. It's not necessarily a strength. So he adds in this, and then he throws in some anterior tib stuff. One set of 25 reps, pretty low weight. So again, never going to get to dunking with that. But this is a good movement, great for ankle strength. So solid on that, but you're not seeing major lifts. You're not seeing like, if you watch like Isaiah Rivera or, you know, some of the big dunkers, they're squatting 500 pounds. They're doing power cleans. Brian Johnson is just doing a very general wellness workout. Nothing to get him to dunk. Chin-ups, one set of 15 reps, right? Very low intensity. Bicep curls, bodybuilding, mobility, wellness workout was just not a great order of exercises. And then some cardio, right? HIIT schedule. He does some high intensity training, but on a bike, just fine. But nothing performance based here. Which, like I said, nothing wrong with that. His goal is to, not die and live as long as possible. But, very low intensity, and then he's not standing up. So even on the high HIIT thing, he's not even standing up. So probably low intensity, he's just going on heart rate. He's not going to try to be an athlete. Which there's nothing wrong with that, but again, you're not going to dunk a basketball. So again, your posture doesn't have to be perfect. If you're pushing really hard and it's about intensity, posture is going to fall off.
Do you want to dominate the game of basketball, run fast, jump higher, be more physical, learn to eat better, get leaner, recover faster, and lift smarter? This program's for you. Get this book today on Amazon. Basketball Strength and Conditioning. Click the link below.
So he does that 7 days a week. It shows that he's jumping here and touching a rim or grabbing the rim there. I'm not sure if that's a 10-foot hoop, but possibly. So good for him. So love to see what his actual stats are currently. And maybe he can dunk, maybe he can't. But we don't know. And arguably that workout is not going to get him, if he's far from dunking, to dunking. But based off of this, I'm assuming that's a 10-foot rim. Maybe not. But if he can grab rim with two hands, he should be able to dunk already. So not that impressive because he already can do it. And he's just doing a general thing. But, still impressive as we age at 6 feet, 180, 91 reach, still impressive to dunk. You're, probably in the top 1%. So nice work. Keep it up. Keep the great content coming. But hopefully you can provide more detail because I'm sure people want to know what your current vertical is. Show some dunk videos, show some stuff. We would all like to see it. But nice work. Hopefully this was helpful and you guys learned something. No disrespect to Brian Johnson. He does some great things, but from a performance standpoint, people should realize what it takes to be able to dunk or get there. And we'd like to see that data, or leave in the comments below if you want to see that data and have Brian Johnson submit that stuff or list it, show some videos. But, like I said on this, not too shabby. Hopefully this was helpful. Feel free to reach out. If you have any comments, let me know. Much respect, and train hard, train smart, and get after it. Take care. Bye.